The following is a special presentation of the Simulation Football League.
And the handoff goes to Johnny English, who breaks out of it. Still going, Johnny English! And English will score! Touchdown, Renegades! He caught it between two defenders! OKC is taking the lead! Matsumoto back to throw. He's in trouble again! This is insanity from Jordan Gray! Look at Gunner! 20, 10, it's a runaway! Touchdown, Gunner! It's H.O. Oh, he made three people miss! H.O. breaks a tackle! He's done it again! Touchdown! Hand off to Snowden up the middle, now tries to cut it right. Beautiful move by Snowden! He's in the open field! Midfield! 40, 30, 20! Richard Snowden to the half! Touchdown, Dragons! Back to pass. Looking fumble the football! And it is recovered by Orlando at the 17! Line formation, handoff to Overstreet around the right-hand side. Overstreet picks him up, and there he goes! Overstreet! Touchdown! Last time these two teams met, it was in Baltimore and it was raining. Tonight in the nation's capital, it's raining. Lord Destro Production Stadium, the DC Dragons try to save their season, turn it around as they face their rivals 42 miles down the road, the Baltimore Crabs. Good evening, everyone. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. Baltimore, 5-3, has won 4 straight. They're in a battle with the Dallas Roughnecks for the second seed in the Grey Conference. Dallas won last night. Baltimore has to respond. Which team will respond with an emphatic exclamation point tonight? Crabs and Dragons next.
It is heads. We hit the ball. The Dragons have won the toss and select to receive.
DC Dragons want the football to start the game. Week 9 coming to a conclusion tonight. The 5-3 Baltimore Crabs, the 2-6 DC Dragons. Baltimore, kick it! We're underway. From the 8-yard line, Nelson on the return and up to the 26. Cody Cantrell is the quarterback for DC. Quarterback efficiency rating of 83.6. 2,100 yards, even. 14 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 68% completion percentage, averaging 262.5 yards per game. We'll see what Cantrell and the rest of the Dragon offense has in store for us tonight. Cantrell will start off with a pass, a deep drop back, a deep ball, and a deep catch. Thomas W. Goodhart inside the 20, inside the 15, and down to the 12. The tight end getting involved early for the Dragons, and it's a first down for the DC. Thomas W. Goodhart wide open over the outstretched hand of Joe Dazzo. Goodhart's longest reception of the season coming into the night was 18 yards. And he shatters that career long on the first play of the game. First and 10 at the Baltimore 12-yard line. Thomas W. Goodhart. And Deion Hawkins spins away inside the 10 down to the 7. Goodhart was certainly vocal about his future with the team, obviously not letting that affect his play here at the start of this one as Hawkins picks up 5. DC in the home black helmets, teal jerseys and pants, white numbers, gold and black trim. Baltimore in
Their black helmets, white jerseys, black pants, black numbers, red and gold trim down the side. Free play here for DC. Hawkins looking for a receiver, finds, Cantrell rather, finds Hawkins on the sideline. That'll be good enough for a first and goal inside the 2. And a strong start for DC here in the opening minutes.
Neutral zone infraction. Number 95, defense. The penalty is declined.
Dragons decline. Ball will go down to the 1 or maybe 1.5 yard line. The rain coming up from the south of the Atlantic and blowing through here, blowing through Lord Destro Production Stadium tonight. Shouldn't be too heavy of a rain, but we're certainly going to get the brunt of the storm here over the next hour and a half. First and goal at the 1. 2 receivers, 1 to either side. DC looking to strike first, and Cantrell's going to pass. Cantrell in zone, and that pass incomplete. Looking for Goodhart again, but this time Joe Dazzo on the coverage. And a nice job by Dazzo this time, getting in the way of Cantrell's early favorite target of the game. Deion Hawkins just barely last week made it official. A 1,000-yard season, 1,042 yards as a rookie on the ground. 5.2 yards a carry, 6 touchdowns. Also has 55 catches for 307 yards and 2 scores. Hand off to Hawkins, and he will not get in. Joe Dazzo again on the stop. Dazzo is single-handedly 2 plays in a row kept DC out of the end zone. And it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 1. And the red zone issues have certainly been problematic for the Dragons in wins and losses this season. They want to see this punched in with an opening touchdown. Opening drive touchdown, that is. Hawkins, the lone man in the backfield. Cantrell's going to throw. Cantrell looking for somebody can get open, and he's going to be sacked at the 8. The Baltimore Crab defense gets a stop. That is Clinton on the stop, and I'm not sure that we've seen much out of Clinton this season. Certainly a reserve on that Baltimore defensive front. And who would have thought Clinton shutting down Washington? 25-yard field goal for the Dragons is good. And with 8:16 to go in the first quarter, DC sort of biting at their lip. Picks up 3 instead of a touchdown, and for most teams, they would feel a bit comfortable about that. For the Dragons, I'm sure they wanted a bigger statement than that here in the opening few minutes. Dragons kick it away from the 9-yard line. Wayne Inzer on the return. That's the 25 up to the 29-yard line. Just one other game going on around the SFL tonight. Louisville is at NYC. Louisville heavily favored in that game. If NYC loses, they fall into the cluster of 3 and 6s. Carolina, Queen City, potentially DC. If they win, though, and pull the massive upset, they would be the clear favorite for that 4th and final playoff spot in the conference. So big things on the line all across the Gray Conference tonight in SFL action. Mike Dazzo is the Baltimore quarterback, and he will sling it deep down the field. Intercepted at the 44-yard line. Dominique Porter makes the big play. Porter with his 4th interception of the season. Escobar trying to run the fade, and DC says, I don't think so. I tell you what, this DC Dragon defense, if there's one thing it does, it forces interceptions. Coming into the game, 23 interceptions forced in 8 games. That's almost 3 a game for the Dragons. But what's even more impressive is 347 interception return yards. Off of those 23, Deion Hawkins breaks a tackle, gets a block. Hawkins past the 20, and Deion Hawkins has a DC Dragon touchdown. And my voice is still a little weary from last night's thriller in Oklahoma City. What a run from Deion Hawkins. DC is off to a very good start here. Hawkins gets a nice block and then breaks off a tackle from Eddie Gage. And DC, with a couple of huge plays, has jumped out on Baltimore early on. DC brought the umbrella. Baltimore's wearing flip-flops. 9-0. That's the 7th rushing touchdown of the season for Deion Hawkins. Extra point coming up for DC. And the extra point is good. 10-0 Dragons. I'll have plenty of time to rest my voice. Our next broadcast is not until, not until Wednesday. Wednesday night, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, kicks off Week 10. It's a game of epic proportions. Carolina, 3-6, takes on Queen City, 3-6. Andy Hamilton will have the 3-6 Renegades hosting the 3-6 Pride, as both conferences have a couple of big games. Playoff continues to unravel at the bottom of the standings. Inzer returns after the 25. On the post-game show tonight, we will give you an updated look at the playoff races in each conference, break them down, and take your phone calls on those playoff races, and maybe get your thoughts or predictions of who will eventually come out of each conference victorious in terms of the final playoff spots being awarded. Mike Daza wants to get off to Elliott Snyder tonight. He'll drag a defender to pick up 6. 2nd and 4 coming up at the 30. Mike Dazzo is the Baltimore quarterback. 85.1 quarterback efficiency. He's 3 completions away from 200 on the season. 2,275 yards, 14 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, 284.4 yards per game. And off to Elliott Snyder. He's in the open field, breaks a tackle. Snyder past midfield to the Dragon 48-yard line. Nice run by Elliott Snyder, and both running backs have come to play here in the rain. And I think Baltimore could probably fill me in or help me with the history, but I believe the last time these two teams played, and that game was in the rain in Baltimore, I think Elliott Snyder got hurt in that game. Obviously, DC won that one, getting revenge after the opening night win in this building, or in this city. What a spin on the sideline by Prince Escobar. Made 2 people miss down to the DC 26. And Prince Escobar is getting it done for Baltimore as the Crab offense is firing back. Good route run here by Escobar. Gets plenty of room on the sideline and then makes a stellar play down the boundary. Crabs on the move.
1st and 10 from the Dragon 25.
2 receivers, 1 to either side. 6:26 to go on the first. Back to pass, Dazzo. Dazzo looking around, dumps it off, and dropped by Trayshawn Bozeman. Fullback out of the backfield. This DC defense, led by the linebackers Castro Patron and Leroy Ambush. The corners on the outside, Dominic Porter, who already has an interception, and Thomas Wilson, 21 and 17 respectively. Free safety number 32, Marshall Matthew, and the strong safety number 35, John Snow. Deep ball by Dazzo, knocked up in the air and incomplete. Dominic Porter has had Prince Escobar's number here on Baltimore's first couple of drives. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Crabs. Big 3rd down for the DC defense. They'd love to keep the momentum. Dominic Porter, strong start so far against Escobar and the Crab offense. Back to pass. Mike Dazzo has time over the middle. DC sitting on it. waits for Ishan Shah to come over the middle of the field. A pickup of 6 yards for Shah, but it's 4th and 4 for Baltimore. 37-yard field goal attempt here for the Crabs. A strong start to this ball game for DC. Yards away. The kick is good for Josh Packmeyer and the Baltimore offense. They're on the board. Baltimore 3 and DC 10. So 5:33 to go in the first. Baltimore will kick it away. They have not gotten a defensive stop tonight. From the 10-yard line, DC on the return. And it's 1st and 10 at the 29. That's significant because Baltimore actually coming into the night #1 in scoring defense, 23.3 points per game. And it's interesting, Baltimore has the #1 scoring defense and the #4 scoring offense, yet coming into the night, they're in 3rd place in their own conference. In the backfield, handoff to Deion Hawkins, and Hawkins picks up 3 as you look at the numbers. Both running backs strong starts. Baltimore's defense also #4 in pass defensive efficiency. Their run defense lacks a bit. They're 9th in the league. 5:10 to go in the first. We'll get to DC's offense in just a moment. 2 receivers, P.T. Peterson, Greg Corky, the 2-star receivers on the outside, who not have catch so far. And it's going to be a check down to Hawkins. Hawkins will break the tackle. Hawkins picks up 5. Hawkins is the back, and Cantrell the quarterback, obviously. Receivers, Peterson 7 and Corky 87. Also Douglas Nelson on the outside at receiver #2. Andrew Rastelli is the fullback, #16. Tight ends, #80 Thomas W. Goodhart and #88 Squirm Washington. And on the line, center, #65 Jake Lachlan. Guard, #77 Nova Jet Verde. And tackle, #75 Jeff Gravel. The pass is caught at the knees of P.T. Peterson. Down the field to the 47-yard line for a Dragon first down. Cantrell throwing off his back foot. That's why that pass was a little bit off target, but a beautiful ball, nevertheless, from Cantrell. Really off to a strong start. 4 minutes to go in the first. Cantrell back to pass. And Cantrell hits Hawkins. Hawkins will break a tackle. And Hawkins picks up 3 down to the 43. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks, as I botched the intro. The SFL playoffs will begin Wednesday, October 26th at 6 Central, 7 Eastern. But here's the kicker. It's a doubleheader on Wednesday the 26th and Thursday the 27th. And all games, I will be joined in the booth with guest commentator Stephen Mullinex, owner of the Dallas Roughnecks. He will be with me for all playoff games in the first week, the conference championship games, and the SFL championship game, which is on a date to be determined. But we're happy to announce that Stephen Mullinex will be joining me, providing color commentary for the entire playoffs this season. 3 receivers, 2 in the backfield, and Cantrell. Hands off to Hawkins. He's got a first down at the Baltimore 37-yard line. So DC continues to move the ball, trying to make it 3 for 3 scoring in the first quarter against the league's #1 scoring defense. Baltimore also second in the league in opponent first downs, giving up just 126 through 8 games. Back to pass, and Cantrell tried to run away, but gets ransacked in the backfield, and that is trying to get a number here. Number 68.
Second and 13.
Who I don't have on my roster. 2 minutes left to go in the first. Two receivers, back to pass. Cantrell, he's going to air it deep, and Cody Cantrell in traffic makes a catch. Peterson, touchdown, DC. Wow. How about the start for the DC Dragons tonight? They are owning the Crab defense. Baltimore's given up almost as many points as they normally do in a game here in the first quarter. P.T. Peterson, a little stutter move. But Carter Williams was looked good on the outside. Peterson walks in. Dragons not afraid to let it rip this evening. And DC is making some plays out there in the puddles. Point is up and good. First touchdown pass of the night for Cody Cantrell. It's 17-3. Did anyone miss the fact? I didn't see anything in the chat. Did anyone miss the fact that every playoff game this season will have play-by-play and color commentary? That is a first in SFL history. Get hyped. DC trying to make sure they're involved. Inzer on the return past the 25. And a high tackle made there at the 27-yard line with a minute 43 on the clock. End of the first quarter in NYC. The game is tied at 3. Sailors holding steady so far. First and 10 at the 27. Out of the shotgun, backing pass, Mike Dazzo. Dazzo's going long into some traffic. That is caught by Escobar. Man, how did no one knock that ball away from Prince Escobar? Cody Cantrell's already up to 132 yards. But what a pass right in between multiple defenders to Escobar.
First and 10. Ball at the 33-yard.
Two backs in the backfield. If you're just joining us, Baltimore finding themselves down early. Elliott Snyder breaks off a couple of tackles. Snyder, one man to beat. He'll be wrestled down by Snow at the 32. Elliott Snyder and Dion Hawkins running hard tonight. And he nearly broke that one for a score. First down and 10 at the Dragon 32-yard line. Penalty flag on the Dragons. Free play. Snyder gets his first reception tonight and picks up about 7. I think Baltimore will probably decline this. The Crab offense is headed by Mike Dazzo. Elliott Snyder's the running back. Receivers are number 84, Prince Escobar. Number 14, Mike Osai. Baltimore actually took the penalty, 1st and 5. Number 18, Wayne Inzer. Number 11, Ishan Shah. The tight ends, number 42, Daley Holder. And number 82, Stephen Dowrow, a new acquisition for the squad. Fullback Trayshawn Bozeman wears number 45. First down and 5 at the Dragon 27 following the penalty. Dazzo to pass. Dazzo going deep. That pass caught by Escobar. Down to the 4. That's the end of the first quarter. Prince Escobar And Elliott Snyder dominating the Dragon defense, but the Dragons dominating Baltimore on the scoreboard. Looking for an upset tonight. End of the first. We're back to Lord Destro Production Stadium. Hand off, Elliott Snyder, left side, touchdown! Before we can even stop the theme music, 2 seconds into the quarter, and the Crabs have cut the deficit down to 8. You see the grass getting kicked up. John Snow had a chance to get a tackle in the backfield, and then Snyder made a man miss. That was not an easy 4-yard run. Snyder makes it look easy, though, quite often. Elliott Snyder, his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. He actually leads the team in receptions, but does not have a touchdown catch this year.
The extra point is good.
And the extra point for Packmeyer is good. Crabs 10 and DC 17. If you're just joining us, winners of 4 straight. Baltimore is at 2-6. DC from Lord Destro Production Stadium in the nation's capital. And for the updated look at the playoff race in both conferences, make sure you stay glued to the SFL postgame show tonight. From the 11 on the return, Nelson, 25, 30. Nelson to the 34. So DC, with their 4th offensive possession, they have scored on every possession tonight. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Cody Cantrell back to pass. Going to dump it off to Hawkins. Hawkins will make a man miss and will be wrestled down after a gain of 2. Let's meet the Baltimore defense, led by the 3 safeties, number 23, Matthew Reese, number 20, Deshaun Miller, strong safety, number 27, Eddie Gage. Corners, number 44, Carter Williams, and number 21, Jeffrey Dezer. Linebacker, number 47, Joe Dazzo. Strong safety, number 1, Matt Davis. And we'll get to the defensive front and a couple other outside linebackers. Spins off the tackle, bounces off another. Hawkins still wrestled down to the backfield by Gage. And that was the best job that Baltimore's defense has done on Deion Hawkins tonight. On the line, defensive end number 94, Lee Oldfield. Number 99, defensive tackle Michael Donovan. Number 95, defensive end Rami Tafesh. Number 64, defensive tackle Riley Earling. Outside linebacker number 93, Blake Tuzier. Number 97, Wayne Davidson. Pass caught, flag on the play. I believe on the Crabs. Corky with his first catch of the night should move the chains for the Dragons. For Eddie Gage, that was his 7th tackle for loss this season. Second only behind teammate Joe Dazzo, who has 8. Overall 60 tackles for loss for the Baltimore Crabs, 55 for their opponents.
Let's go!
So 1st and 10 at the 44 following the Greg Corky catch, and DC's defense is on the move again against the number 1 scoring defense coming into the night. 3 receivers on the left side, handoff to Hawkins, and Hawkins is stopped by Joe Dazzo, a pickup of 2 yards. But Joe Dazzo is making his impact on this game. The old veteran is slowing down a bit, 3rd on the team in tackles with 53. Does have a sack and a pick this year, and as already mentioned, the 8 tackles for loss. 9:03 to go in the first half. 2 in the backfield for DC, up 7. Cantrell straight back, fires down the middle, pass caught by Peterson to the 45. 3 catches for 66 yards in the game for Peterson. He leads all wideouts this year for DC with 50 catches, 899 yards, and 6 scores. That's more catches, yards, and touchdowns than Greg Corky, and he also has caught Cody Cantrell's longest pass of the season coming into the night, 72 yards, and that went for a score. 8:30 to go in the second quarter. Cantrell back to pass. Cantrell looking around again, fires it off to Hawkins. Hawkins inside the 40, and I tell you what, DC is not making their living on the swing out to the running back, but the check down game is vicious tonight for the Dragons. No one is close enough to Deion Hawkins, and they're letting Hawkins get plenty of yak yards. Second and 1 at the Baltimore 35. DC could make it 4 for 4 scoring here in the first half. And Cantrell steps up in the pocket, throws a backwards pass to Hawkins for the first down. It looked like there for a moment Cody Cantrell wanted to run, thought better of it, threw it behind to Hawkins, and Hawkins, lucky enough, was ready for it. Hawkins also on the ground, 10 carries, 83 yards. He has been vicious in the first half. 7:35 to go in the second quarter. Cantrell drops back to throw. Cantrell's in a bit of trouble again. It goes to Hawkins. This time, nowhere to go, as some droplets of rain fly up at Dwayne Davidson's big tackle. Second down and 11. Those Baltimore white jerseys getting awfully dirty out there. Here in the first half, 7:10 remaining. Back to pass. Cantrell is going to take off and run. Tried to sidestep an oncoming defender, but to no avail. And that is Clinton again. We've seen Clinton make a couple of plays, and you almost wonder if somebody's hurt there on that defensive front for the Crabs. Third down and 13. The usual suspects appear to be out there, but it's Clinton that's made a couple of big plays. And Cantrell is sacked on the play. This time, Riley Earling gets to Cody Cantrell, and the drive stalls out for the first time tonight for DC. Riley Earling just blows past the blocker, and it's 4th and 17 outside of field goal range, and Baltimore's back-to-back sacks helps the Crab defense out of a jam. This punt is a good one. Bounces, but it's tipped into the end zone. Bad play there, and the Crabs will start at the 20 with 6:01 to go in the first half. First down 10 at the 20. 4-3 defense. Two receivers, or two backs in the backfield rather, for Baltimore. DC showing blitz. They come with it partially. Elliott Snyder breaks off a tackle, takes a big shot at the 30, but does pick up a first down. More strong running from Elliott Snyder, and it's a Elliott Snyder versus Deion Hawkins show right now. Two of them making strong impact on this game, and that was Thomas Wilson, who came over to blow the house down. First and 10. Prince Escobar dominated that first quarter. Mike Osai still without a catch. And the mystery of how to get Osai involved in the offense continues for the Crabs. Hand off to Snyder. He's got some room left side. Snyder past the 45, down to the 46. Another Baltimore first down. They have weathered the storm here in the first half. Their defense just got to stop, and now their offense is on the move. Osai, 36 catches in 8 games. That's 4.5 catches a game. Still 6th on the team with 691 receiving yards, and actually 8 touchdowns for Escobar, 6 for Osai. Inzer, Holder, Snyder don't have any. Deep ball, Mike Dazzo. Boy, he let that one rip. Touchdown, Mike Osai. Right on cue, Mike Dazzo, a bomb. Down the field, it's a 1-point game. This was really sensational out of Mike Dazzo. The defense diving after him to make a play. And Osai makes it happen. So Josh Packmeyer on for the extra point. See a lot of empty seats out there. Dragons having a tough time, certainly this season, and trying to gain enthusiasm. DC potentially, this is their last season, although there is some talk about the team staying revived, or reviving the franchise, or continuing the franchise into next season under new ownership, so that's interesting. As Packmeyer slips and falls while kicking, the ball is returned from the 30, but the return man also fell on the play, and the Dragons end up only at the 38-yard line, and with both teams slipping and sliding around on that kickoff, it ends up being just an above-average start for the Dragon offense and Cody Cantrell. So Mike Osai, his first catch was a big one, and we're all knotted up at 17. And goes for Deion Hawkins. Breaks off a tackle. Maybe he got swallowed up there. Still averaging over 7.5 yards a carry, and that was Blake Tuziant with the tackle. 2nd and 9 with 4:40 to go in the first half. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. Thursday night football here tonight on the SFL Network on Twitch TV. Trips off to the right side and back to pass. Cantrell lofts one to Peterson. It's overthrown. If you missed the announcement earlier, the Season 7 playoffs begin Wednesday, October 26th with a doubleheader with me and Stephen Mullinex on the call. Mullinex will also join us for all of the SFL playoff games this season. So we're happy to get that going on the 26th of October. 3rd down and 9 at the 39. Back to pass. And Cantrell has a lot of time. Deep ball in one-on-one coverage. And Carter Williams makes the play. 4th down for DC, and the Dragons have lost their early momentum. Back-to-back punts after scoring on their first 3 possessions. And Baltimore has settled down in this one as Williams has the case of slippery fingers. Carter Williams, 3 interceptions on the season. The leader on the team, Jeffrey Dezer and Deshaun Miller, each have 5. And the Dragons will punt it away. Nothing there. Gets a generous ball spot at the 26. Elliott Snyder has been running strong. The run defense for the DC Dragons is actually the strength of their defense. They are 8th against the run, 13th against the pass, 12th in total defense, and 12th, or check that, 7th actually in scoring defense. Back to pass, Dazzo. Dazzo, deep ball again down the field. Caught by Osai. 76 yards on 2 grabs. He has the last 2 catches for Baltimore's offense, and it's another big crab first down. So Mike Dazzo is not afraid to let it rip here. Couple of big catches down the field by Osai, starting to get both Osai and Escobar involved in a 17-17 tie. 3 in the backfield, Mike Dazzo changing the plays. 4-3 defensive look for the Dragons. So back to pass. He'll hit Snyder. It just his second catch, and Elliott Snyder's wrapped up quickly. DC all over that. Pickup of just one. It'll bring up second down and 9 at midfield. The SFL is presented by DAC Stats and OBS Studio, celebrating our 7th season on the SFL Network on Twitch TV. First half, 4-man rush. Snyder again to the outside. DC ready for it. Another generous spot. They gave him 5, but they marked the ball to DC 46, so we'll call it 4.5 on the play. Third down and officially 5. And those that have braved the weather and braved the 2-6 DC Dragons are on their feet. 2:40 to go in the first half. Back to pass. Dazzo goes down the middle. Pass caught at the 34-yard line. That's Osai again. He's got 88 yards of receiving in the first half. And the 2 big weapons on the outside have combined for 6 grabs for 148 yards and a score for Dazzo. Dazzo averages 284.4 yards per game. He could eclipse that tonight as that pass to the outside is caught inside the 30. That's Wayne Inzer. First down to the 24. Just before the 2-minute warning, Baltimore again striking, and it's been a flip of the script. DC was up 17-3. And Baltimore trying to score 14 plus unanswered points here. And we've actually reached the 2-minute warning. The clock stopped following putting the ball in play. This is the SFL Network. Two receivers off left side for the Crabs. 4-3 defense. Dazzo outside to Mike Osai. 4-yard pickup. Stops the clock. 6-yard pickup, rather. 2nd and 4 to the DC 18. Just one turnover in this game. It was a Dazzo interception on his first pass, picked off by Dominique Porter. 2K Sports halftime report coming up next. First half highlights and stats. NYC and Louisville action on SFLN2 tonight. And off to Snyder, left side. Great kick-out block inside the 10. Snyder still on his feet to the 7. 96 yards for Elliott Snyder. And for those that can't do the math at home, I can't either. I believe it's 8 carries. 8 carries, perhaps, for 96 yards. Maybe 7 carries. 6 carries? 1:26 to go in the first half. Hand off Snyder. And Snyder will pick up 2. It's halftime in NYC. Louisville up 10-3. Sailors keeping them at bay pretty nicely, but their offense is struggling. And on to Snyder. And Snyder pushes it to the 4. Under a minute to go in the first half. And Baltimore trying to punch it in or at least take the lead with a field goal. So out of the gun on 3rd and goal for Mike Dazzo. Dazzo back to pass. Dazzo in some trouble. Fires it short and it's dropped by Bozeman for the 2nd time tonight. Trayshawn Bozeman has dropped 2 passes and he would have fell into the end zone, and instead Baltimore has to kick a field goal. The last time the Crabs were in this city, they beat DC 26-23 at the half DC led 16-13, so a very similar game here, although a little bit more high scoring. The snap was difficult for the Crabs, but the field goal from 20 yards away is good. And with 31 seconds on the clock, Baltimore 20, DC 17. Baltimore and DC did not play each other in the summer 15 season, so this is their third meeting all time. The two split the season series last year, and this is the first of two meetings. DC and Baltimore actually played 2 times. Nelson returns to the 28. Baltimore will be at home against the Dragons in week 12. It is Baltimore's first lead of the night. Hawkins is in the backfield. 3 receivers off to the far side right. 27 seconds to go. DC has all 3 timeouts. They'll hand it off to Hawkins. Hawkins spins away. Hawkins picks up 7 to the 35. DC is choosing not to use their timeouts. They'll just run no huddle here. They'll hand it off to Hawkins again. And Hawkins doesn't get anything. Down to 10 seconds to go. 3rd down and 4. That was an interesting decision there by the Dragons. 5 seconds to go. They run it again. Are they going to run out of time? And they do. The time runs out on the half for DC. Normally, teams will get a timeout in there and will chuck it deep. But DC couldn't even get that. And at the half, Baltimore leads 20-17. The 2K Sports Halftime Report starts now. Baltimore gets the ball to start the second half. games in a row this season. DC, since clobbering Carolina 40-14, won one game in their last 7, currently on a 3-game losing streak as you look at the updated numbers from both of the running backs. Snyder now over 100 yards with that 4-yard pickup. DC actually, when they allow 15 points or less, are 2-0. When they give up more than 15 points, they lose. And Baltimore's got 20. Second and 6 at the Brown 37, back to pass. And deep ball from Dazzo, laying out to try to make the catch is Mike Osai, and Mike Dazzo saying, oh, I just put it out a little bit too far out in front of him. Third down for Baltimore, just like that. Be a big motivation here for the Dragons. If they can get a 3 and out on defense to start the half. Back to pass, Dazzo, short pass, caught, and a poorly played defense right there from DC. And Mike Osai picks up the first down, went under the route, did the defender, and that was number 12, I think. Had an opportunity to sort of cut Mike Osai off at the angle, and Mike Osai's having a very good ball game tonight. Dazzo 187 yards, almost all of those yards to Osai or Escobar. First down at the Baltimore 48. And off to Elliott Snyder. Snyder bounces off a tackle. 40. Snyder to the 35. First down again for Baltimore. Their offense is rolling. And DC just cannot stop Elliott Snyder.
First and 10.
Snyder has 4 100-yard games, but just 2 in the last 6 coming in. But has his 5th 100-yard game of the night. His season high came in the season opener against Louisville, 147 on the ground. This is arguably his finest performance of the year because he's done it so consistently throughout the night. Second and 7 at the Dragon 32. Four receivers, 3 off to the right side, back to pass Dazzo, out to Snyder, ready to go back for the ball, lost a couple of yards. Marshall Matthew with the tackle in the backfield. Don't forget our next game will be Wednesday, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. A couple of pivotal ones. I will have Carolina at Queen City, a battle of 3 and 6 squads. Andy Hamilton will have Tallahassee and Oklahoma City, a battle of 3 and 6s in the teal. That pass is picked off by Matthew, but it's coming back. Intended for Mike Osai. That'll wipe away the turnover. And it's 3rd down and 3. That also makes a field goal more manageable for Baltimore, and that's a costly penalty on the Dragons.
Third and 3. Ball at the 28 yard.
8 minutes to go in the third. Two receivers off to the top of the screen. Mike Dazzo to pass. Dazzo going to air it out long. Tipped and picked. This one is not coming back. Dominique Porter's 2nd of the night. And it's a Washington, D.C. first down. Pass intended for, looked like, number 80 over the middle. First and 10 at the 18. A huge turnover forced there by the Dragons. Porter's 2nd pick of the night. Impressive. Hand off to Deion Hawkins. Hawkins will lose a yard. That tackle made by Oldfield, and Hawkins has not had as much room to run. Last time, actually Dominic Porter earlier this season had a game when he had 2 picks. That was against Louisville. Also defended 4 passes in that game. He's defended 6 the rest of the season. Coming in, 7:20 to go in the third. Second down and 11 at the 17. Back to pass, just getting it away, and that was dangerous to being a backwards pass again. Hawkins, the intended receiver. Third down and long. Pressure gets to Cantrell, and that was Oldfield again. And Cody Cantrell and the Dragon offense, after building a 17-3 lead, is struggling. Third down, 11. Cantrell short, turn to the corner! What a stiff arm! That's Goodhart on the outside. Thomas W. Goodhart has made some monster plays in this game. That is his second big catch of the night as Deshaun Miller wrestles him out of bounds. First down, DC to the 35, a huge third down and long conversion for DC. Cantrell out of the gun, back to pass, pump fake, now throws it, sideline, caught. Hawkins on the outside. For the Dragon, 45-yard line.
Second and inches from the Dragon, 45 yards.
6:40 to go, second down and short. Back to pass, Cantrell fires it outside. Hawkins, what an open field tackle. I couldn't get a number on who that was on the outside. May have been Gage, may have been Dazzo, looked like a 7. It may have been Dwayne Davidson, the outside linebacker. Third down and 1. 3:47 to go in the third. Louisville has the edge on NYC, 13-10. Handoff Hawkins, third and short, got the first down. Deion Hawkins with a strong run, and DC keeps the drive alive. Pickup of 7 for Hawkins to the outside. 2nd and 3 at the Crab, 47. 5:25 to go.
2nd and 3.
Trips off to the right side. Hawkins going to take another carry. Hawkins trying to test the outside of Baltimore's defense, and they were coming for him. Matthew Reese on the tackle. Sets up a third down and 4. DC chewing up some clock here in the third, down to 4:50 to go. Trailing by 3. Baltimore scored 17 unanswered points. Left, counter to Hawkins. Hawkins dragged down, 4th down. So DC gets conservative there. 3 straight runs to Hawkins. It was a 2nd and 3. They elected to try to get it on the ground twice, and the drive stalls out. So Baltimore's #1 scoring defense coming into the night, giving up just 22.3 points per game. It looked like they were going to get their doors blown off in the first quarter, but the Downs are up 3 now. This punt will bounce inside the 10, and DC stops the football inside the 10 for the first time tonight at the 7. They'll pin the Crabs deep, and maybe DC can force a safety or flip field position or something here, because the energy and buzz out of this building from their fast start has since evaporated. Two in the backfield for the Crabs. Two receivers. Dazzle will hand it off to Snyder. Snyder past the 10. Past the 14 to the 15. Averaging 10 yards a pop tonight is Elliott Snyder. He picks up 8 and gives the Dragons more room to work with at the 15.
Second and 2 from the Crab 15-yarder.
Snyder is under center, or Dazzo is, with Snyder right behind him. He takes the handoff. Snyder, that's not 10 yards on that play. Pickup of just 1, Thomas Wilson. Pretty play at the line, and picks up maybe a half a yard for the Crabs. Third down and short. Lord Destro Production Stadium on their feet. They need to get their defense off the field. Get some momentum. Dazzo back to pass. Dazzo to Snyder, all alone. Past the 20 to the 21.
First down, Crabs.
So Elliott Snyder once again makes a big play to keep the drive alive for the Baltimore offense as the time continues to tick away. 2:30 to go in the third. Snyder's in the backfield. He will get the carry. Snyder speeding away somehow. Back inside to an open lane. Pickup of 3. Second down and 7. Leroy Ambush on the tackle. I haven't said his name much tonight, but he makes the stop. 192 yards and a couple of picks. Not Dazzo's best performance. Pass, Dazzo out to Snyder, and Snyder hit by Dominique Porter. Porter is having a really good night tonight. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. Porter dialing up all the right plays. Third down again here, third and short for Baltimore. Can DC get off the field? This Crab drive started at the 7. 2 in the backfield, a tight set. Handoff to Snyder, and stopped in the backfield. That was good pursuit and good penetration from that defensive front for DC, and the Dragons, it took them 6 or 7 plays, but they get off the field, and will give the ball back to Cody Cantrell and their offense, who has not scored since the first quarter when they led 17-3. 34-yard line, smacked at the 36. End of the third. Louisville, boy, they're having some trouble with NYC, aren't they? 13-10. Wolfpack are ahead, though, trying to improve to 9-0. DC down by 3, just trying to get their third win of the season and keep their playoff hopes, or put their playoff hopes in better position, as Hawkins loses a yard on that reception. You know, it's crazy. 3 teams have clinched playoff spots already this season, but none have been eliminated from the playoffs, and we've only got 3 weeks to go. Even if DC loses tonight, depending upon what happens, obviously if NYC would beat Louisville, it would make things a lot tougher on the Dragons. Deep ball knocked away. That was Jeffrey Deser with a nice swat, and it's 3rd and 11. D-Car 5 just joined Slack. Happy to have him aboard, or her. 22 seconds to go, 3rd down and 11. Baltimore is up by 3, and they're going to force a 3 and out. P.T. Peterson with the catch. Dwayne Davidson makes the tackle. 4th down for Baltimore. This is a bit of a mystery right now with what's happening to the DC offense. They were killing it in the first quarter, and I mean killing it. 17-3. The last 2 quarters, they've been blanked, and Baltimore's defense has shown up. A quarter left to play. The Crabs are up by 3, going for win number 5 to get back into 2nd place in the Grey Conference. This is the SFL Network on Twitch TV, and we'll be back to the nation's capital in a moment. Flag on the play to start the 4th. Baltimore jumped offside. Is that a 1st down for DC? It is. 71, Zimmerman jumps offside. And what a crucial mistake. We haven't even started the clock of the 4th quarter, and Baltimore puts DC's struggling offense back out there to give them a second chance. Hawkins 2 yards away from 100, but he's been the bell cow. 19 carries, 98 yards. Hawkins in the backfield. Hawkins will drop the throw, steps up in the pocket. Hawkins going to run inside midfield. Hawkins took a shot, but picked up 7. 2nd and 3 in Baltimore territory as the drive extended by a Crab penalty. 10:40 to go in the 4th. Baltimore with the 3-point advantage. DC trying to regain the lead for the first time in the 2nd half. And Hawkins, and he falls out of bounds after a 1-yard gain at the Baltimore 45. But DC cannot pick up the 1st down here. This would be the 2nd or 3rd time that the Dragons have stalled out in Baltimore territory tonight. The 3rd time, I believe. Four receivers to the either side for Cantrell. Cantrell straight back. Oh! He took a blasting hit up the middle. That was Michael Donovan. Couldn't even get the word out. Donovan was in the backfield so fast, and Baltimore's defense, which had 4 sacks in the first half, gets another one there on 3rd down, and the penalty ends up not costing Baltimore points. DC's offense just cannot dial things up right in the 2nd half, and that one will bounce into the end zone. 9:39 to go in the 4th. I don't think even Cody Cantrell could have believed that he would be sacked that quickly. Baltimore as a team coming in had 17 sacks. If my count is correct, they're now up to 22. They're 5th in the league coming in with 17 sacks. That's 5th best in the league. But 5 at least in this game will help them in that category. Back to pass. Dazzo against the late blitz. Caught. The official fell over down the field. Wayne Inzer with the catch. Mr. 4th quarter. Wayne Inzer has been big in this winning streak for the Crabs, particularly late in games, as that one was thrown perfectly by Mike Dazzo. 211 yards tonight for Dazzo. Cantrell doesn't have the yards, but he has played mistake-free football tonight. And off to Snyder. Snyder made a man miss. Boy, that was Marshall Matthew who just looked foolish on that play. Pick up of 2 for Snyder. 2nd down and 8.
Let's go.
Under 9 minutes to play. 7 in the box with DC. Snyder takes the handoff. And Snyder, look at John Snow. And the pursuit to the football. If John Snow didn't make the tackle, someone was gonna. Because DC had a whole army coming after Elliott Snyder. It's 3rd and 6. 3 receivers. Dazzo's out of the gun. Dazzo back to pass. Deep ball. And offside. No, it's Inzer. Wayne Inzer with his second big catch extends the drive. Just like I said, Wayne Inzer, it's something about the fourth quarter for this guy. He shows up. What a brilliant play from Inzer down the field. Osai is also over 100 yards tonight. 1st and 10 at the 38. And off to Snyder, and Snyder lost 2. 2nd and 12 at the 40. This DC Dragon defense has had a heck of a time here in the second half. They've been down 20-17 almost the entire time. Snyder takes another big hit. Boy, the DC Dragons they look out for blood right now. Marshall Matthews, a vicious attack on Snyder just outside of field goal range. It's 3rd down and 11. 7 minutes to go. Here in DC, the Dragons trying to avoid 2 and 7. 7:34 to go. NYC has taken an 11-point lead on Louisville. 24-13. Upset alert is right. Holy mackerel. Meanwhile, incomplete pass. I got distracted there by Louisville's lead and advantage right now. Baltimore's pass down the field was incomplete, and the DC Dragon defense comes up with yet another stop. We could be looking at 2 upsets tonight. This punt is a beauty inside the 10. Oh, did it bounce into the end zone? It did! Talk about an unfavorable bounce for the punter, Dennis Burton. That ball was going straight towards the sidelines, and it caroms down the white paint and into the end zone. Ball on the 20.
1st and 10 from Red Dragon, 20 yards.
6:36 left in this ball game. Trips off left side. And the handoff goes to Hawkins. Breaks the tackle, fights ahead for a tough 4 yards. Updated numbers, Snyder at 137. That's 10 off of his season high on the ground, which came against Louisville back in week 1. Neither offense has been able to break through in this first half, or second half rather. 6:15 to go. And off, and Hawkins. There's a flag, however, on Baltimore. Baltimore's penalties are killing them here in the fourth quarter.
Neutral zone infraction, number 95, defense.
Second and 1, the offside goes against Rami Tafesh, who's been probably the best defensive lineman for the Crabs this season.
2nd and inches.
Under 6 to play, DC still trailing by 3. The Dragons have lost games by 3-1 and 6 points. Cantrell back to pass. Cantrell out to Hawkins, 3rd and 1. They rule it incomplete, lucky for Hawkins. Out of bounds with 5:38 on the clock.
Third and inches from Red Dragon, 30 yards.
Third down and 1. Can DC pick it up? Cantrell back to pass and out of bounds. Hawkins was the intended receiver, and with 5:30 to go, DC has to punt again. This offense in the first quarter was the anomaly. They just can't get moving.
Let's go. Your Dragons are back to punt. Number 18 is deep to receive.
Good stats by the chat. 22 people voted on this game. 20 of them picked Baltimore to win from the 35-yard line. Inzer on a return up to the 40 with 5:24 to go.
6 yards on the play. Ball is spotted at the 40-yard.
By the way, breaking news, Josh Gordon to enter rehab. So if you picked him up on your fantasy team, you might want to think again. 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 40. Dazzo back to pass. Dazzo taking a deep shot. It's picked off at the 35-yard line and returned to the Baltimore 43. 3rd interception of the night for Mike Dazzo, and it's Marshall Matthew coming away with the monster play, the last line of defense. Pass intended for Mike Osai, and a huge play for the Dragon defense, and a nice block from Thomas Wilson to get Matthew into Baltimore territory. Meanwhile, 4:42 to go. NYC leads Louisville 24-19. .5:16 left to play. 4 receivers, 3 off to the left. Back to pass. Cantrell fires outside, incomplete. Looking for Corky, who only has 1 catch tonight.
Second and 10.
Oh, couple of games going down to the wire here on Thursday Night Football in Week 9. I'm not sure that I have the energy, but I'm going to try. Cantrell back to pass. Fires it down the field. Pass off by Goodhart. That's his 3rd catch of the game. 3rd down and 6 at the Baltimore 39. The key thing for the DC Dragons is getting into field goal range and even giving yourself just a chance to tie the game. Cantrell is under 200 yards passing. He has not been under 200 yards passing in a game since week 2. 4:45 to go. 3rd down and 6 from the 39. Play action. Cantrell can't take a sack. That's exactly what he does. Another huge sack by this Baltimore defensive front. Their 6th of the ball game, and it's another 4th down and punt for the Dragons. They just cannot find the offense, and every time you think it's going to happen for DC, it just doesn't. Low snap. Can they pin Baltimore inside the 10? This one will bounce at the 9, down to the 3, down to the 2, rolls down at the 1. That is DC's 4th opportunity to pin Baltimore inside the 10. They've done it now twice tonight. And if you're keeping track at home, 4th time DC has gotten into Baltimore territory and has not gotten points. Can the Dragons get a safety to cut the deficit to 1? Not the way with Elliott Snyder running tonight. And look at the blocks Snyder gets, although there is a flag. If that flag came in the end zone, that could be a safety. Let's get the call. Very important call here.
Clipping, number 63. Offense.
Was it in the end zone? It was not. Down the field clipping on Barnett will bring up 1st and 8 at the 3. So wipe the play away. Snyder gets credit for some of his run. And Baltimore avoids crisis. That's their third penalty of the second half. Snyder in the backfield is in trouble and got away. Snyder was right on the goal line when DC first made contact. 138 yards on 21 carries. 2nd and 7 from the 4. DC had their opportunity on Snyder. They just could not bring him down. I doubt DC or Baltimore gets aggressive here on the offense. I'd expect another run, but 9 in the box for the Dragons. Mazzo to Snyder, running sideways. Still managed another yard. Marshall Matthew on the stop, and if you're Baltimore, if I'm Baltimore, I'm thinking about passing this ball, because if you punt it away, you're going to give DC the ball almost in field goal range. So even if you run 40 seconds off the clock, if you don't move the chains, you could potentially be selling yourself for overtime. Snyder will take the handoff, though, and get nothing. 4th down. Baltimore a little bit too conservative, in my opinion. Smith on the tackle. Burton will punt out of his own end zone. And you never know with punts in the rain out of the back of the end zone. And DC is going to end up with excellent field position. I mean, it's hard to fault Elliott Snyder as well. He's had some really good offense tonight. Down to 2:20 to go, 3 on the play clock. Baltimore has to snap it. They get it away cleanly. And the punt is to the 37, and the return to the 35 with 2:09 to go. DC just needs 5 yards or so to give themselves a legitimate shot. But they've been here time and time again with no points to show for it. .209 remaining. Trips off left, back to pass. Cantrell fires sideline, caught at the 31 by Corky, a pickup of 4. It stops the clock, and the Dragons are in scoring position. Louisville has stormed back on NYC. Now leads 25-24. The 2-point conversion, I'm hearing now, is missed. Wolfpack up by a point. 2nd and 6 at the Baltimore 31. Trips off the right side. Cantrell will throw again. Can't take a sack. Dumps it off. That's Hawkins. Hawkins to the 29. 3rd and 3. It's the 2-minute warning. This is the SFL Network. We've got 2 minutes to go in NYC, 2 minutes to go in DC. 25-24, 2017. On a couple of the games last on the schedule for Week 9 in the SFL. 1:58 on the clock. 3rd down and 3 at the 29. They're going to hand it off to Hawkins. Hawkins first down and more. Hawkins to the 21. And now DC is in a position to go for the win. Another huge run from Deion Hawkins tonight. Coming up with the plays. And DC will look back at that first possession of this game when they had a 2nd and goal on the 1 and couldn't get in. They would be winning this game right now if they had punched it in. 3 receivers off to the right. Cantrell hands off on a counter. Hawkins is caught from behind. Just a 1-yard gain. Joe Dazzo on the stop. Hawkins now up to 111 and 5 yards a carry. DC is content with letting this clock run down, as is Baltimore. We're either going to overtime for the 2nd time in 3 games between these two teams, or DC aims to have the ball last. Cantrell back to pass, fires it outside. He got railed, and so did Andrew Rastelli. Jeffrey Dezer lines him up and knocks him out. Rastelli to the 18, 3rd down and 7, 50 seconds to go.
3rd and 6.
Can the Dragons pull it off? A big upset here in the nation's capital. 40 seconds left. Hawkins, Cantrell, the pass, end zone! It's intercepted! DC just threw the game away. Carter Williams. Unbelievable. Peterson to the end zone, and Cody Cantrell, who had not made a mistake all night, may have just threw the game away. DC still with 3 timeouts. But the Dragons go for it all and get nothing. Hand off Snyder. Oh, he lost 2. Big hit in the backfield. Timeout DC. Crabs need 1 first down. Unbelievable meltdown there for the Dragons. And in the red zone, the Dragons' struggles continue. It would be DC's 4th loss by 1 possession this season. And Baltimore takes a knee. Why? I have no idea. Is Baltimore serious right now, or are they just being cocky? Do they seriously trust in their defense that much more than their offense? Especially with Elliott Snyder on the ball. They're going to take a knee again. For what purpose? DC has the timeouts. They call another one. Baltimore's just going to give it back to them. Unreal. I have never seen, and you can talk about artificial intelligence doing silly things all you want, but I have never seen a team take a knee with well knowing that they are going to not run any time off the clock. And Baltimore is, I'm sorry to say it, but Baltimore is being incredibly cocky right now. They think that they can just win the game on defense. With no timeouts for the Dragons and 19 seconds left, they just might, or they may have made the biggest mistake of their season. Oh, Cody Cantrell has a chance to redeem himself somehow, some way. Cantrell back to pass. He'll fire it out to Hawkins. And he couldn't get out of bounds. There's, oh my goodness, 11 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go. Cantrell needs to spike the ball. Spike it right now. 5 seconds to go. Cantrell finally spikes it with 3 seconds on the clock. What took him so long? Oh, this game has got to be tearing these two teams apart. Horrible execution. Don't forget, the SFL postgame show is coming up next. Following the conclusion of both games, we'll break down the playoff race in both conferences. This is it. Hail Mary for Cody Cantrell. And Cantrell is going to run, and there's no more time left. The game is over in one of the most bizarre, disappointing endings I have ever witnessed. DC, a colossal meltdown with at least overtime in the bag. And Baltimore, much to the chagrin of Dallas, is back in second place. The post-game show is coming up in a moment.